Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. I need films like I need to get my breath. And then I couldn't care less. It doesn't really matter to me what anyone says. Everyone told me, no, you're fine the way that you are. You're awesome. Don't bother him. Try not to make it happen. Try not to make it happen. No. Every one of the power sources realizes that she finished her medical procedure with Dr. Zach. They are letting me know that he isn't purportedly a board-confirmed specialist. He's simply a confirmed specialist. So being a confirmed specialist implies you can give someone a BL, yet you most likely don't need to bother with giving them a babble. You all? So we finally have official news on what has been going on with Miss Jacky O. What's more, it has been affirmed that she did, as a matter of fact, die from intricacies emerging from her mother's makeover medical procedure. Furthermore, true to form, her accomplice, DC Youthful Fly, isn't taking this news well since he is supposedly accusing the specialist who performed her medical procedure and considering him answerable for her. The passing word on the roads is that the specialist could have been careless, and DC is out for retribution. Indeed, obviously, there are others who have previously said that he, bungled medical procedures and attempted to sue them. Furthermore, this completely emerged after she died. Be that as it may, he was suing individuals for leaving him awful surveys. So it's been several months since Jacky O unfortunately died subsequent to going through a mama makeover medical procedure with Dr. Zach OK in Miami. Jacky had been open for a really long time about how she needed to finish her body, since she expressed it in 2 or 3 recordings. I need to get my breath back. I couldn't care less. It doesn't really matter to me what anyone says. Everyone told me, no, you're fine the way you are. You're great. Don't bother me. Try not to make it happen. Try not to make it happen. No, no, no. In any case, everyone let me know that. Be that as it may, it's my body. She additionally uncovered that individuals around her asked her not to finish her body, yet it was something that she needed severely. What's more, it's simply deplorable that it wound up costing her life. However, from what we know now, the medical procedure itself appeared to go pretty smoothly without a hitch. However, at that point, she had some post-operation entanglements that tragically prompted her passing. It was so miserable, yet it didn't take long for the circumstances to get truly obscure on the grounds that fans began to give her specialist the side-eye and contemplate whether he had something to do with her being gone too early. Furthermore, it wasn't excessively some time before we figured out that the technique should be a cooperation among Jacky and Dr. Zach, where she finished her body for nothing. And consequently, she should make a few video blogs about him and the medical procedure and give him free exposure that would convert into additional clients and patients for him. Dr. Zach even made a post on Instagram with her expression, preparing for my mother's makeover with Dr. Zach. Remain tuned to my YouTube channel for the full reveal. Tragically, circumstances simply didn't pan out that way on the grounds that Jacky passed. Also, similar to what I said previously, individuals truly began checking out Dr. Zach, and they figured out a ton of things that appeared to be extremely obscure about him, and he began to get a ton of terrible exposure. One of the principal things that individuals notice about him is the way that Dr. Zach was not a board-insured specialist, but a board-qualified one. Presently, while the distinction between the two terms probably won't appear to be that serious, the term board-qualified alludes to a doctor who has finished his residency in a claim to fame or subspecialty, but has not breezed through the assessment either on the grounds that he hasn't taken it yet or he bombed it. The circumstances began to look far more atrocious when Dr. Zach erased the cooperative picture that he posted on Instagram before the system and individuals began to see it. It got much more fascinating when the police reported that they were sending off an examination concerning the case. Also, assuming you felt that Dr. Zach's way of behaving was terrible, then indeed it before long deteriorated in light of the fact that individuals felt that he didn't actually mind that one of his patients died during the medical procedure since he was too centered around doing PR. He expressed nothing about Jacky's grievous passing via virtual entertainment, despite the fact that it was the most sultry subject all over at that point. Presently, I realize that there was an examination happening in those lawful cases, and police examinations can restrict what you say so you don't implicate yourself. Be that as it may, as fans called attention to, there were a lot of ways he might have shown some compassion, however implicating himself. Perhaps he expressed something about helping out the police or something like that. Be that as it may, rather than recognizing what is going on or stretching out his sympathies to Jacky's family, he dropped an explanation via virtual entertainment, discussing how his medical clinic was spotless, extraordinary elite, and a wide range of stuff. He shared with all my previous, current, and imminent patients. The Miami stays gave the best clinical consideration. All tasteful methods are acted on in a cleanly protected climate, according to generally perceived clinical guidelines. I'm steadily dedicated to propelling procedures in the domain of plastic medical procedures, he proceeded. Above all, my staff and I guarantee that every patient is checked, prepared, and treated based on their unique patient history before any medical procedure. Our main goal is to assist our patients with achieving the most ideal outcomes in the most secure and generally restoratively proper way that could be available. Dr. Zach, all right. Individuals have been giving him a hard side, however. This took it from being a side hustle to straight-up hauling since fans came for him hard in light of the fact that it was like he was more stressed over his own picture than the way that a mother with small children lost her life in his center. Presently, quick forward to 2 or 3 days prior, when the police at long last completed their examination and the circumstances got considerably more unusual. TMZ announced that Jacky had flown into Miami from LA for the medical procedure, which had occurred on May 30th. The medical procedure worked out positively, and she was endorsed with the standard post-operation prescription, anti-infection agents, oxycodone for agony, and some anti-queasy drugs. However, at that point, on May 31st, things got downright ugly in light of the fact that she began whining about a terrible migraine. So she chose to visit the medical clinic for development. TMZ's insiders guaranteed that she was told to dump the counter-queasiness medications and change to ibuprofen, yet that didn't help since things deteriorated by the night of that very day. In light of the fact that Jacky started to feel her head was consuming and started to experience issues. Talking, Jacky was with her auntie, who called 911, however. Jacky went inert before they showed up and was articulated dead at the medical clinic at 11 p.m. Individuals found it bizarre that Jacky looked into the emergency clinic that very day that she died, only several hours after she had visited the medical clinic. The entire circumstance painted Dr. Zach and the emergency clinic in an exceptionally terrible light, in light of the fact that missing something that serious appears to be a significant warning. TMZ additionally uncovered the subtleties of a dissection that occurred, saying that Jacky had an expanding mind and a broad draining of the skin around her middle. Presently, the part about the draining around the middle is somewhat expected on the grounds that the mother makeover technique included liposuction. Also, since liposuction requires a few cuts in the middle for fat evacuation, some draining is normal. Yet, the genuine reason to worry here is the mind enlarging, in light of the fact that it's not typical for the cerebrum to grow after a plastic medical procedure. We can't say for specific what set off that mind expanding in light of the fact that it might have been a disease, a blood clot, or something like that. However, one thing that fans are saying is that the emergency clinic ought to have been on top of it during the post-operation checks. Presently, Jacky's accomplice and child daddy, DC Youthful Fly, is seeing red. This word on the road means that he's holding Dr. Zach responsible for Jacky's passing. Insiders uncover that DC feels that the emergency clinic bungled the subsequent consideration for her. They obviously missed the way that her side effects were getting intense, despite the fact that they had quite recently seen her a couple of hours before she unfortunately died. The insider additionally added that DC has been doing some digging on the web and has found a few different patients who guarantee that they got unfortunate post-operation care from Dr. Zach. One of such patients left a web-based survey saying, "I held up for around 2 to 3 hours to get a medical procedure with Dr. Zach. A month in, I fostered a ton of hardness and knots, paying extra charges to dispose of 2 months in. I connected with Dr. Zach and got no reaction. I arrived back at the office and was educated that Dr. Zach had left the office and basically disregarded every one of the patients. He had recently carried out a procedure. No post overpowered was given to me. I connected by means of IG again to various pages of Dr. Zach, just to see if he had perused and disregarded them. In any case, it deteriorates on the grounds that it just so happens that Dr. Zach had really been sued by a patient in the past who guaranteed that he had punctured her entrail during a medical procedure, making her go septic as per the court report. OCOP punctured the offended party's little gut and caused perilous, actual wounds as an immediate and general reason for said break. The offended party has persevered through torment and enduring, caused critical hospital expenses and costs, and will be compelled to go through extra tasks and operations to recuperate from the mischief incurred upon her by excellence.